Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today is another JMC Designs Digistamp release day. So I've got a beautiful collection to show you today. All the links for Julia's shop and Julia's channel will be in the description box below, and also Dawn, who also does some design work for Julia. Also hop along to Julia's Facebook group, which will also be linked below, because there are some really inspirational designers that show their work within that group, and they're just prolific. They do so much amazing stuff, and I find it really inspiring. So I really do recommend that you hop along and have a look there. So if I show you the collection, and then what I'm going to do is go away and colour up something, and we will come back together to make something. So the first two of these images, we've got Becky Bapp and Cocoa Caramel. So obviously this one's, she's like a hamburger, her dress is like a hamburger, and she's holding some fries, and she's got some fries in her hair, which I just think is really fun. And then on this side we've got this lady who has got like a caramel waffle for a skirt, and then she's holding a bun, and she's got some like little toffees, sweets on a hat and on a dress, which they are super cute. And then we've got Nancy Noodle, and obviously she's this beautiful oriental designed lady holding her noodle bowl there, and I just love all the flowers and the vines on her dress. I think that's really beautiful. And then she's got, you know, her noodles coming off there, and they could be like little dumplings, little Chinese dumplings. So really cute. I love that one. This is my favourite one, Sally Sundae. So obviously she's an ice cream sundae, and dress is sort of the upside down ice cream cone. She's obviously holding the ice cream cone, and she's got the little wafers in her hair. So she's my absolute favourite, and I have actually printed her out twice to play with. So I've also printed her out on this page. So if you buy the full set, you can buy the images individually, and I think they're $2.99, but don't quote me, do go over and have a look at Julia's shop. And then there's a bundle which is $12.50. Again, don't quote me, please do go over and have a look. And for the bundle you also then get the sentiments, and there's a set of accessories, which I'll show you in a sec. So again, I've printed Sally Sundae there because, like I say, she's my favourite, so I've got a couple of ideas for her. But then you get these lovely sentiments. You only live once, so lick the bowl. You can't live a full life on an empty stomach. If you think you've lost your appetite today, I think I have it. That is really me at the moment. I was on Weight Watchers before all this happened. That's gone out the window, and I've eaten my own body weight in cake because my daughter works for Costa, and what they couldn't give away to food banks and hospitals and things, she brought home. So yeah, lots of cake has been consumed. There's no we in food, that's true. I eat it all myself. Sometimes you just need cake. Yeah, that's definitely me. People who love to eat are always the best people. Cupcakes are muffins that believed in miracles. I like that one. The only clubs I'm into are sandwiches. We go together like cupcakes and frosting. I spend a lot of time holding the refrigerator door open looking for answers. Yes. So some really cool quotes and sort of sentiments on there that you can obviously use in your projects. And then finally there's the accessory pack. Now I've printed this out twice because I've printed this set slightly smaller than the other set. That is the beauty of the Digistamps. Obviously you can size them up and down appropriately to your project. So this is one set, and then, like I say, I've just slightly sized it down, so that depending on what I do with them, I've got the two different sizes. So that's the accessory pack. You've got some really lovely, you know, cupcake and sundae, a couple of like noodly bowl type things, and then some really lovely flowers that again fit in with the ladies in the Digistamps. So that's what is included in the kit. I'm now going to go away and colour some of these up, and I will come back and we will put something together. Okay, so I have coloured in Sally Sundae, as you can see. I've done her in some sort of pinks and mints, like strawberry ice cream with some chocolate and some mint choc chip there. So I'm going to go and have a look at what dyes I've got and decide what it is I'm going to do with Sally, and then we'll come back and we'll put it all together and I'll get the video popped up. Okay, so I've got a few bits together, and I have decided I'm going to make a tag pocket, so that if I want to send some happy mail, I got these really lovely stamps for Mother's Day, dies, sorry, for Mother's Day from my daughter, and they've got really appropriate ones to go with this collection, little cakes and the cake stand, and so I could die cut some of these, or I could make some embellishments, which I've got an idea for some embellishments as well, and I could tuck them inside this pocket. So I've cut out some bits to get going. I've got my little image of Sally there, and then I've got this die, which is a long tag die. It's so long, I'm struggling to get it in the picture. I've cut that out twice, once for the back and once for the front, and that'll make it nice and sturdy. I cut it out again, but then I chopped it off, chopped the top bit of it off, and that is actually going to be our pocket. And then I have cut some strips of card that are going to go down the sides, effectively like that, but I have scored them so that they will gusset, and they will create a gusset down there which will make the pocket a bit wider, a bit deeper. So to start with, I need to glue the two, the back and the front tag together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of ATG, and that's more than anything so that I get fast grab. But then I am also going to use some of my tacky glue. I use the Anita's tacky glue that you get from the range or Hobbycraft. I've tried lots of different ones. This is just my favourite glue. It's cheap and cheerful, but it doesn't warp the paper, even when I use quite a bit of it. And it sets quite quickly, and it sticks most things. So I really rate this glue. Considering, you know, the price of some of them, I think it's fab. So putting the white glue over the top, will, you know, make sure that we get a good bond all over, but also just gives me a little bit of wiggle room to get my tags lined up together. So once I'm happy, I am going to, if I can find it, take a bone folder, get my nice big bone folder, and I'm just going to really bond, sorry that's probably shaking the camera, but really bond those two pieces of cardstock together. So now I've got a tag that is much more substantial, much thicker. If I've got any places, like just at the top here, where it hasn't quite stuck, I just put a bit more of the white glue in. And that's just because knocking the camera. That's just because I didn't put enough glue sort of close to the edge when I was gluing it. So I like that. I love the fact that it's got the lollipops on. This was just from a all the cardstock that I'm using was from one of the packs that you get from the range for I think they're £3, the big 12x12s. So I am just gonna go around the edge with a bit of ink, just to sort of pull the pieces together. It's very subtle because I've gone for spun sugar. I could go for something darker, and I might do, so that's not actually showing up all that much on that background, but that's fine. I've then got obviously the pocket, which is going to go there, so I want an ink to go around the edge of that one. So I think I'll go for fossilized amber or wild honey. Wild honey's a bit warmer, so I think I'll go for the wild honey. Grab a tool, and I am just going to flick around the edge of this. I seem to be doing lots of craft with me's at the moment, which is fun. I think because I'm doing everything last minute, it is just sort of, well, I might as well just film the process of me making it. But those are the sorts of videos I like to watch. I've been watching Julia this morning. She's been, excuse me, she's taking part in a collab, yeah, I watched that video this morning, and that was a good video. And it does sort of remind me that, you know, actually I like to craft along with the people that I like to watch. So, you know, on the bits where I've paused the film to go off and paint things or cut things or whatever, I've been watching Julia's video. So I thought, I'm sure there's somebody out there that likes this type of video. If not, never mind. I'm enjoying doing it, and that's the most important thing, particularly at the moment, that we all get some joy out of each day. So I'm just going around the edges of everything, and once I've folded these, I will go over the folded edges as well, which I'll show you in just a sec. I'm not going too mad because these bits won't really be seen, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So then all I'm going to do is fold in a sort of concertina style the pieces of card backwards and forwards, and then once I've done that, I am just going to catch those edges with a bit more of that ink because it just gives them a little bit of dimension. Catch that edge and then fold it back in on itself. So I'll do that with these pieces. So I'll start off by doing that middle piece that you won't, and just give that a bit of ink, and then I will fold them the way they're going to be. Getting a bit warm in my craft room. I'm going to have to open my door in a moment, but my husband's doing something or other on his motorbike, so it keeps being quite noisy out there. But I am going to have to do it, and I'm also going to have to get a drink. I've been running around like crazy today because I've got a couple of videos that are due today, and as always, I've left it to the last possible minute. To be fair, I was very busy yesterday, and yesterday's the first time I sort of dragged myself into the craft room and made myself do anything for a while. And I had to do a birthday card and a video that was due up yesterday, so, or the day before, maybe, I can't remember. But I've not been back in the craft room all that long. Okay, so I've got all my elements now. I'm going to decide what I'm going to ink her up in a minute, and I will probably give her a little bit of grounding as well on the actual image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by gluing to this piece. So I'm going to go with my ATG, but I'm also going to put some white glue. Right, now I need to know which way up this is going, because obviously I've cut it and I've rounded the corners. I want to make sure that I put the bottom piece on the bottom. So I'm just going to find where I can line that up like so, and then I'm just going to push that on there, and that creates the first piece, the first, don't even know if I was in camera there because I'm just concentrating on what I'm doing. That creates that first gusset. See if I can lift the camera slightly. Slightly better, I suppose. And then I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. The lovely thing about this ice cream paper is it doesn't really matter which way up it goes because the ice creams go in all directions. So I haven't got to worry about getting papers up the right way. And obviously the same with the sort of sprinkles print. Obviously if you'd got a print where it did matter, then you'd have to consider that as well. And then I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to line up, excuse me if my head's in the way, line up that piece, push it into place. So that's the two gussets, that's my gate slamming. Somebody obviously hasn't shut the gate. And then I am going to just put one in the bottom, because what I don't want is obviously for everything to fall out the bottom. You could just glue the bottom of the pocket to the bottom of your tag like that and just have the gussets on the side, but obviously that is going to limit the amount that you can sort of put in there. So I tend to put a little gusset on the bottom, unless I'm putting small things in, because obviously you will still have some little gaps, but because what I'm intending on putting in there is bigger than the little gaps, it doesn't matter. So again, just a little bit of ATG, and then a little bit of glue, and I'm going to line this up on the bottom. Like so, and push that into place, and there we go. So this is our little pocket piece, and I can now glue that onto my tag. In exactly the same way, I'm going to put a bit of ATG for some instant grab, and then I will put some of that white glue, some of the tacky glue over the top to give me that wiggle room that I need. There we are. And then this is the tricky bit, because you've got to try and hold all your gussets in to get them in the right place. So I think what I'm going to do is start by just doing the bottom one, or the bottom bit. So sort of hold everything in together and push that down. And then from the top, I'm just going to line everything up at the top here and then push down. And give that a really firm press so that that glue really takes. And now you can see what we've got is that little pocket, which is not set. So just that really good. So obviously that just needs to sit for a bit and let the glue set. So what I will do is I will just pop that under my big heavy book, which is behind me, for a couple of minutes while we finish the picture. Okay, so while that's just setting, I'm just going to do a couple of last little bits with this lovely image. So with some tumbled glass and some cracked pistachio, let's get those out. I'm just going to, first of all, I'm going to ink just around the edges of the image, like so. There we are. And then I'll put a little bit of the cracked pistachio in as well. Get the thing on. Just let that one come in just a little bit sort of further. There we go. Keep going off screen, sorry. I think it's because time is ticking. I've got to get this video up, so I'm concentrating on that really rather than what I'm doing. Okay, now scouring through my pens, I want a very pale sort of aqua colour, just to go around the edge of her. Again, just to give a little bit of shadow. It's not working very well, that one. It's pretty much done. My Spectrum Noirs are running out. I want to try and replace them with Copics, but they are very expensive, and they're not actually that easy to get hold of in the UK, which is a shame. I'd love to do more colouring, and I have actually bought some Kit and Clowder colouring classes. I thought it might be something that would be good to do during the sort of quarantine time when we're sort of stuck in anyway. But as of yet, I haven't actually had time to do any. and I do find that the bullet nibs don't lend themselves to some of the techniques, so I would like the Copics with the brush nibs, but like I say, they're quite pricey and you can't have everything, can you? So just go around this image like so. There we are. Okay, and then I am going to just go over with so this is a brush marker from Pro Marker. These are quite nice actually. They just don't have the colour range, and I don't think these ones are refillable, which the Copics are, which I do like, that you can sort of refill the Copics. So I'm just going to pause because this is really boring, and I'll come back to you when I've done it. Okay, so I've finished doing that, and as you can see, I've put a little bit of green just down the bottom here, just a little bit of white in there just to brighten it up just a little bit. And then I have got a green gel pan as well. There we go. So that's her. I am going to put some pom-pom trim around the edge. Now I've got a few different ones. I've got pink, I've got white, and I've got this lovely mint green. Now if I just bring my little pocket back, we can have a look at which colour is going to go better with the pocket as well as the image. And I'm actually thinking that the white is probably going to brighten it up quite a bit, so I think I will go with some white. And I'm just going to do that by taking my pom-pom trim, taking this edge of my pom-pom trim. I usually start it at the side because I don't think it's quite as noticeable if you start it at the side. I put some hot glue on, stick the pom-pom trim on, and just make sure that you can't see the edging strip, that all you can see is the pom-poms. So I'm just going to go around my little image and put my little pom-pom trim. I think it's really cute because it's, could almost be ice cream balls. So go around like that, and loads of this stuff. And then I'm going to glue the bottom edge just by putting a bit of hot glue, and then again just feeding that round, so it's sort of fed it round the corner, and then just press it down once it's cool. There we go. Right, so I'll just finish that off. Okay, so the pom-pom trim is now attached all the way around, and I've also cut a piece of cardboard that I am going to glue in the back there to give it a little bit of dimension, and it will just help those pom-poms to sort of sit forward on the piece. So just a bit of hot glue on the back of there, and I'm just going to squeeze that in, push those pom-poms either side, and just hold that down, let that glue take. That's cute. And then I can glue that onto the front of my pocket. Glue strings everywhere. So again, I'm just putting plenty of hot glue on the back of this piece, and then I'm going to line that up where I want it and just push down. I've been and got a few trims and things to make a tie at the top. So I'm just going to take some of this tulle. I've got a little bit of this, it's like florally sort of flowers on this netting stuff, if I can get it out of the band. There we go. So we will have a length of that in there. I've got this really pretty aqua and gold ribbon, which that will be cute. So we will get a length of that, and I will just fishtail the ends of that ribbon so that it doesn't fray. Like that. Might have another piece of that tulle. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is just pop it all together. Pop it through the hole there. Just turn that ribbon round so that it's like that. I'm then going to thread that piece through so that I've just got one flower on the back there. And then I've got this really pretty, just pink, sort of narrow ribbon. And I'm going to bring, oops, put that one like that. Bring everything together on the front. And tie it in a bow. Really cute. And then for the finishing touch, I've got these gorgeous little lollipop ice creamy flatback embellishments. So I'm just going to put a dab of hot glue on there and pop one of those in the centre. And there you go. So I've created a long tag pocket with a ribbon sort of dangle thing, and I'm going to use this to pop some embellishments, some handmade embellishments, and maybe some die cuts in there to send out to somebody as happy mail. So that's what I've made today with Julia's new collection. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do go along to the Facebook group and the other ladies that are creating for this release. I will leave all the details of all of that in the description box below. And do go along to Julia's shop and have a look and see if there's anything in there that you would like to play with. That's all from me for now. I hope that you'll join me again soon in my next crafty video. Bye for now.